Some youths in Abuja on Thursday barricaded office premises of MultiChoice and DSTV belong to South African interests in a reaction to recent xenophobic attack on Nigerians. A handful of the youths were seen chanting anti-South African songs. Meanwhile, Nigerian Senate has called for the review of the country's foreign policy in the face of the recent xenophobic attack on Nigerians in South Africa. This was made known by the Senate spokesman Aliu Sabi while speaking with journalists in Abuja. He condemned the attack on Nigerians.
It's time for Nigeria to review its foreign policy. If we must go into a country and to give that country support, we must also know what Nigeria will benefit in that relationship. The idea of Father Christmas, I think, is gone. We also have our own populations to cater for. We are having all kinds of insurgency here. We are having all kinds of security challenges, and we can well do with also taking care of our own citizens. But you see, in the spirit of international brotherhood and coexistence, Nigeria has always risen to the occasion to support its African countries and even beyond the shores of Africa. So I think it's not a bad thing, but in doing so, we need to really find a way of making sure that when we do something, we will not, it will not turn back to haunt us where we will be treated as if we are parasites. I think we are more than that, and we should be well treated when we know, yes, we deserve it.
The Senate spokesman asked the South African government to do all it takes to stop the attack, saying Nigeria played a significant role in putting an end to apartheid.
What we saw, and given the history of the relationship between Nigeria and South Africa, to me, it's quite unfortunate that that is happening. And I think it behoves on the leadership of South Africa to rise up to the occasion and let these young boys and girls in South Africa know that Nigeria had been there for them. And we also made tremendous contribution in supporting their quest for freedom. And today, where we have a globalized world, Nigeria is house to so many very important, South African economic interests. And I think if Nigerians should now rise up to begin to retaliate, I don't think that would be a good thing to do. We are the big brothers. We have remained one, and we will definitely continue to remain one.
From Abuja, Muyo Bamdele reporting.
The Director General Budget Office, Ben Akabueze, has emphatically said that there is no padding in the 2017 budget proposal. The DG stated that the budget presented to the National Assembly by President Muhammadu Buhari was exactly what the ministries, departments and agencies certified. Speaking in Abuja at the press briefing to address issues bordering on the Budget Office boss said the process of preparing 2017 budget required MDAs to upload their budget online by the accredited officers who were issued access codes to ensure an audit trail of all entries. He noted that the introduction of the web-based application in the preparation of 2017 budget eliminated the glitches experienced with 2016 budget.
I can say without equivocation that there is no padding in the 2017 budget proposal. The process of preparing the 2017 budget required MDAs to upload their budgets online by their accredited officers who were issued access codes to ensure an audit trail of all entries. The chief executive and or chief accounting officers of all MDAs were required to certify their final budget inputs.
The DG, who cleared the air on the recurrence of some projects in the previous budget in the 2017 budget, said such projects were captured, especially those that were not implemented due to funding challenges or a still ongoing project. He emphasized that this year's budget was prepared using zero-based budget system, which requires that every project or program must be justified each year for inclusion in the budget.
Some have queried the description of some projects in the budget, as well as a repetition of these projects. This is not a defect. The departure from incremental budget to zero-based budget requires that projects are costed at activity level. For instance, the Zungeru hydropower project was costed at a different sub-activity level, comprising infrastructure. So you will see the Zungeru hydropower infrastructure, Zungeru hydropower basic amenities, Zungeru hydropower compensation, Zungeru hydropower consultancy and supervision, among others. These are sub-activities associated with that project. And the level of granularity for budgeting in the ZBB requires that you budget down to that, those sub-activities levels. The proposed budget encapsulates key ingredients of the Nigeria Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, NERGP 2017 to 2019, which builds on the strategic implementation plan of the 2016 budget. The 2017 budget was prepared using the zero-based budget system, which simply requires that every project/program must be justified each year for inclusion in the budget. This does not imply that projects captured in the previous year's budget will not feature in the current proposal, especially if the project was not implemented due to funding challenges.
On differential prices for same items, the DG said the Budget Office is collaborating with the Bureau of Public Procurement to update its price list that will be structured into the preparation application to make it impossible for different agencies to use different prices for same item in the budget.
This is a valid concern, which we ourselves are working to address. The Bureau for Public Procurement is updating its price list, which will be structured into the budget preparation application to make it impossible for different agencies to use different prices for same items in the budget. Regardless of what price any MDA uses in its budget, ultimately the BPP determines applicable price for each procurement. Going forward, BPP and Budget Office of the Federation will work collaboratively to ensure timely review of price lists.
Akabueze, while stressing that the existing budget process may not have been perfect, expressed commitment to continuous improvement until a budgetary system that will serve the nation optimally is achieved. Awesome Raffle, Bentel Vision.
Hi, Mike.
Babe, it's been over 12 hours. Are you done thinking about it? Is the answer yes?
Convince me.
I know how much confidence style mean to you. Let me take you somewhere.
What's that?
A superior leading international hospitality chain in the heart of Africa.
And?
They offer very distinct services. Their meeting halls and all their hotels offer conference solutions that can help plan a perfect function for any occasion. They feature outdoor catering and provide services for any size event.
Keep going. You got me thinking now.
The beauty, the decor, and the views. It's the hotel experience you always dreamed of. They have up-to-date entertainment and a variety served at the fast food restaurant and snack bar. Oh, and don't even get me started on the garden bar or the nightclub. You would have everything you need within your reach without having to go out.
Wow. So what if I want to...
Cook? They got you, babe. The rooms are thoughtfully furnished with facilities that aid proper cooking, just like you would at home.
Where is this place?
And it's sweets.
Wow.
So, will you marry me?
Yes. How can I refuse?
Not Sweets, a colorful affair.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has reiterated its readiness to carry along Nigerians in diaspora in the future general election as soon as the constitution is amended. Chairman of the Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, stated this in Abuja while appearing before the Senate Committee on Finance.
On diaspora voting, distinguished Senator, you recall that you visited us and we had a discussion on that. The law at present says that you only vote while you are registered. And Nigerian citizens are not registered outside the country, they are only registered in Nigeria. So there is no possibility of voting outside Nigeria until the Constitution and the relevant laws are amended. But as far as INEC is concerned, it's a very good idea, we are ready. If the act is amended, we will then come and thoroughly discuss the pros and cons of implementation. In fact, to be proactive, there is already a committee working on the fine details of out-of-country voting. And when the Senate Committee on Diaspora visited us, we discussed some of the implications of being out-of-country voting. Matters I would like to discuss the details, you have had a long day. I wouldn't like to take the time of the distinguished committee, but we are working on that, including a draft policy. Once the law is amended, we are good to go on diaspora voting.
However, the INEC chairman highlighted some challenges that might affect the smooth takeoff of the diaspora voting.
All I'm saying is that we are being proactive. All the issues, all the pros and cons have been addressed by the Commission. But at present, we can't proceed until the law is amended to allow for two things. One, registration of Nigerians outside the country. And secondly, the Constitution says that you only contest an election on the platform of a political party. Political parties, as we speak, cannot organize abroad, cannot open accounts abroad. Even while they receive foreign funding, the money is supposed to be warehoused in trust by INEC. The parties can only have access when they justify what they want to do with the money. But if you are going to mobilize Nigerians outside the country, political parties must be empowered to organize abroad and to also campaign. Now, when our leaders go abroad, they don't speak to Nigerians as a political rally. They say they are speaking to the Nigerian community in diaspora. So once the cost is clear in terms of amendments to the Constitution and consequential amendments to the Electoral Act, we are good to go. We are convinced that we should do it. It's doable, and we are already ahead of the possibility of an amendment in terms of getting the policy right and getting the framework as well.
The quest for diaspora voting has been a front burner issue for some time, as Nigerians in diaspora have been mounting pressure to be part of the democratic process of the country. From Abuja, Muyiwa Bamdele reporting. The Nigerian Senate has directed the Federal Capital Territory Administration to come up with a framework within 2 weeks that will make banks and other corporate organizations to take over environmental sanitation of Abuja Metropole through corporate social responsibility arrangement. Chairman of the Senate Committee on FCT, Senator Dino Melaye, who led other members of the committee to brief the press about the development, said it was in line with the global best practices. Senator Dino explained that 15 commercial banks and 18 corporate organizations have so far shown interest in the FCT cleanup partnership.
Last week, the Committee on FCT summoned the MDs of all banks operating in the Federal Capital City. And 15 banks attended. The essence of that meeting is to correct and ameliorate the problem associated with the environmental sanitation of the Federal Capital City. We discovered that despite the fact that hundreds of millions spent from budgetary provisions of the FCT annually paid to contractors for the maintenance of our street lights and the maintenance of all the streets and environment and the milieu of Abuja, is not yielding any positive results. So the committee decided to invite these banks that, in line with their corporate social responsibility to the Federal Capital City, their host community, that we are going to share all the major streets in Abuja to banks. These banks will now do the maintenance of street lights, will now be responsible for the environmental sanitation of all the streets, their manning, the beautification of roundabouts where you have them, and by so doing, they will also have the logo of their companies or their brand at least being advertised on the street lights. Not only banks, even other corporate organizations in Abuja have decided. We have 18 corporate organizations that have accepted to work with us in this regard, alongside 15 other banks.
Similarly, the Senate Committee on FCT has given a marching order to the police and other security agencies to address the security challenges confronting FCT.
We have given a marching order to the Commissioner of Police and the Commandant, and we have also instructed the FCT to provide logistics for the immediate evacuation of all dissidents, beggars, including those little boys who claim they are helping you to clean your glass, and by so doing, they are actually adding additional debts to your cars. We say these are miscreants, and immediately they must be evacuated from the city. Abuja must be a city that will operate in line with the dream of our founding fathers. Abuja must be a city of envy to every other country in Africa.
It is believed that the federal government will save a lot of money if banks and other corporate bodies takes over environmental sanitation of Abuja. In Abuja, Muyo Bamdele reporting.